They set up the single mom on a blind date as a prank, but the billionaire's son said, "I like her." They thought it would be funny. At least, that's what Carla and Denise told themselves as they leaned against the breakroom counter, whispering and snickering while Maya struggled with the copier for the third time that morning. Maya Reyes, single mom, late most days, always tired, always kind. The kind of woman who brought homemade empanadas for everyone's birthday and never complained when someone dumped extra work on her desk. "She needs a night out," Denise said, swirling her coffee. "And we need entertainment." Carla grinned. "I know someone." That someone turned out to be Alexander Hale. Yes, that Hale. Son of tech billionaire Richard Hale. Recently returned to the city, rumored to be impossible to impress, and allegedly bored enough to accept blind dates arranged by acquaintances just to see what would happen. The prank was simple. Pair Maya, who wore sensible shoes and talked about daycare waitlists, with a billionaire's son who dated models and socialites. Sit back and watch the disaster. They pitched it to Maya as a harmless setup. "Just dinner," Carla said brightly. "No pressure. He's interesting." Maya hesitated. She hadn't been on a date in nearly 4 years, ever since her ex walked out when their daughter Sophia was 2. Between work, parenting, and exhaustion, romance had become a distant memory. But Sophia had begged her that morning. "Mommy, you never go anywhere fun." So Maya said yes. The restaurant was far too elegant for Maya's comfort. White tablecloths, soft lighting, servers who moved like dancers. She almost turned around when she saw the menu prices. Then Alexander stood. He was tall, neatly dressed, with an ease that came from growing up with everything, yet his smile wasn't arrogant. It was curious. "Maya?" he asked. She nodded. "Alexander. Hi, I'm sorry if I'm underdressed." He laughed softly. "I was hoping you'd say that. It means you're real." That was the first crack in the prank. Dinner didn't go the way Carla and Denise expected. There were no awkward silences, no visible clash. Maya talked about Sophia, her love for dinosaurs, her stubborn insistence on mismatched socks. Alexander listened. Actually listened. No phone, no wandering eyes. When he talked, it wasn't about yachts or investments. He spoke about pressure. About growing up with expectations so heavy they felt like a second spine. "People assume my life is easy," he said, stirring his drink. "But it's loud. All the time. I envy people who know exactly who they are." Maya smiled sadly. "I didn't always. But when you're responsible for a tiny human, you learn fast." By dessert, Alexander surprised her. "I like you," he said simply. Maya blinked. "You, what?" "I like you," he repeated, no hesitation. "You're warm, grounded, and you don't treat me like a headline." She laughed, certain it was a joke. "You barely know me." "True," he said, "but I'd like to." The next morning, the office buzzed. "So?" Carla asked, barely containing her glee. "Was it a disaster?" Maya paused, then smiled. "Actually, no, it was nice." Denise frowned. "Wait, nice." Before Maya could answer, a delivery arrived, flowers. Not flashy, sunflowers and lilies. A note tucked inside, for Sophia's mom. "Dinner again, eh?" The break room went silent. Over the next weeks, Alexander kept showing up, not at the office, but in Maya's life. He learned Sophia's favorite bedtime story. He showed up to a school fundraiser in jeans and helped run the raffle. He listened when Maya talked about money worries without offering to fix them. The gossip escalated. The prank had turned into a scandal. "She's clearly after his money," someone whispered. Maya heard it all, and one night, after Sophia was asleep, she tried to end things. "This was never supposed to be real," she told Alexander, voice shaking. "You come from a world I don't belong in." Alexander didn't argue. He just said, "Come with me tomorrow." He took her to his childhood home, not the mansion, but a smaller house his mother had kept after the divorce. He showed her old drawings, awkward teenage photos, a bedroom that felt surprisingly normal. "I don't need someone who fits my world," he said quietly. "I need someone who fits me." When the tabloids finally caught on, the headline wasn't what anyone expected. "Billionaire's son defies society, dates single mom." Richard Hale himself requested a meeting. Maya almost didn't go, but when she did, she found not a monster, but a tired man. "My son hasn't looked this steady in years," Richard admitted. "I was wrong to assume what kind of woman he needed." Maya met his gaze. "I'm not asking for approval. Just respect." Richard nodded. "You have it." Months later, At a small park birthday party filled with balloons and laughing children, Sophia tugged on Alexander's sleeve. "Are you staying?" she asked. Alexander looked at Maya. "If you'll have me," he said. Maya smiled. No prank, no audience, no expectations. Just real life, and love that no one saw coming.